Okay, today we're going to be talking about solving one-step inequalities with multiplication and division when I have negative coefficients. We learned today in class when we did the inequality investigation that if we multiply or divide both sides of an inequality by a negative number, we'll need to flip the direction of the inequality symbol. I'm going to write that down in as few words as I can. All right, squeezed that in there. All right, let's jump right in then. So for example 9, I have x being multiplied by -7. I know multiplying by -7, the opposite would be dividing by -7. And -7 divided by -7 is of course 1, and 77 divided by -7 is -11. Since I divided both sides by a negative, I'm going to flip the direction of the inequality to make it a less than or equal to instead of greater than or equal to. And then I'm going to need to put my answer on the number line. I need a -11 on here. Sometimes hard to squeeze it in there. I want a closed circle on the -11 because I have a line underneath my symbol showing that it includes the number -11 and a line pointing to the left to show all the numbers less than or equal to -11. For the next example, x is being multiplied by -0.8. So the opposite would be to divide both sides by -0.8. Whatever you do to one side, remember you need to do to the other. -0.8 divided by -0.8 is just 1, which is why we did it. Since I'm dividing by a negative, I want to switch the direction of my inequality symbol, and then 240 divided by 0.8 is 300. And since I have a negative divided by a negative, it's a positive 300. So on my number line, I need a 300. I'm going to need an open circle on that 300, and I want to point to the right to show all the numbers greater than 300. For the next example, I'm going to rewrite it to give myself lots of room to show my work. Since x is being divided by -8, the opposite would be to multiply by -8, and whatever I do to the left, I need to do to the right. These cancel out because it leaves me with just like x over 1, right, which is just x. I'm going to switch the direction of my inequality symbol because I multiplied both sides by a negative, and then 10 times -8 is -80. So that's my answer, but I also want to show it on the number line, so I'll put a -80 on the number line. It's good to just have a couple of numbers on each side of it if you can. I don't know why I put -90. It's always hard to talk and write at the same time for me, so I'm going to do an open circle on my -80 because there's no line underneath the inequality symbol, and I'm going to make an arrow pointing to the right to show all the numbers less than -80. And for my final example, x is being divided by -4, and the opposite of dividing by -4 is to multiply by -4, and whatever I do to the left, I need to do to the right. These are going to cancel out and leave me just with x, and I'm going to switch the direction of my inequality symbol because I multiplied both sides of the inequality by a negative number, and then 3.5 times 4 is going to give me 14, but I have a positive times a negative, so I know that's a -14. I'm going to need to put a -14 on my number line with a few other numbers on either side. I'm going to do an open circle on that -14 since there's no line underneath my inequality symbol, and I'm pointing it to the right to show all the numbers greater than -14. Thanks for watching.